So don't fall into that kind of victim mindset where you're like, oh, well, I went to this party and there was all this food and I didn't have a choice. It just happened to me. So let's not do that, because we do have a choice. We know that we're going to be put in these situations, and it's kind of what, it's our decisions, what we want to do with that. So we can decide, I'm just going to, I'm going to this Christmas party and I'm just going to go all out and I'm just going to eat whatever I want and make up for it tomorrow. Or we can decide, I'm going to kind of, I'm going to eat the things I really love that I know I'm going to really love there. And then I'm going to try and eat clean the rest of the stuff. So pick like your top two, entrees that you really love there. And then, the rest of the stuff that doesn't make you go, oh my gosh, this is so good. Unless you're getting that reaction, then it's not worth it. So pick the things that make you just want to dive into that meal, and then leave the rest of it. Just know that. If you're a drinker and you want to go and that you're going to be having, drinks, like you're a hot buttered rum person and you're going to be drinking some hot buttered rum, then save your calories for that. Know that you're going to be drinking that, and then kind of, try and, when you're eating, try and eat a little cleaner. I recommend, instead of doing one cheat meal, so this is what we've sort of conditioned ourselves to think about cheat meals and go, okay, well, I'm going to save up all week for my calories, and then I'm going to go out and I'm going to, have 3 hours of just complete fun with my food, right? I recommend getting rid of that pattern, because then what happens? You're already off the wagon. You might as well have, dessert too, and then you're already off the wagon. So tomorrow morning, maybe I'll eat some pancakes and then I'll get back on it. So, I recommend just always keeping the same kind of, 80 to 90% clean. So you're eating dinner. It's not completely perfect. You can have a little bit of, whatever, maybe even salad dressing, or whatever it is. And that's okay, right? And just don't beat yourself up over that. Because when we get into the mindset that if it isn't completely clean, then we're off the wagon and we might as well just throw in the towel. That's what screws us up the most. So we see one thing on our plate that's like not exactly healthy, and we're like, oh, there goes my diet. Might as well just, pack on everything else in the world that's gonna make me regret it tomorrow, right? So over the holidays, it's going to be super important that we're really paying attention to the food that people are shoving kind of into our faces. Know that you can take a bite of something. You don't have to have a whole huge portion of something. When you're loading up your plates or when you're having dessert or whatever, realize that it only takes 2 to 3 bites to satiate a craving. So eat slowly, enjoy what you're eating. That's huge. Chew your food. I know it sounds super simplistic, but this goes back to Navy SEALs, and Navy SEAL training, where they make you chew your food 30 times. Each bite has to be 30 minimum chews. And there's reasons for this. Not only is it better for your digestion by a mile, but you become way more satisfied with the food that you're eating faster. So if you take a bite and it's gone, it hit your taste buds for like 2.4 seconds and it's gone, you're going to want more of that. But if you chewed it for 15 seconds, that's a huge difference. So, that's part of the awareness of your own habits as well. So, realize that if you're eating really fast, it's not going to be, you're going to want more of it. Also, hunger, it takes 20 minutes from the time that we start eating, from the time that the food hits our stomach, 20 minutes before our hormones are able to shift gears and tell us that we're no longer hungry. So when I was losing weight in the beginning, one of the things that I did was I would eat very slowly, because I knew that. I had learned that. And I would try really hard to put my fork down in between each bite. And so just put it down for a second while I chewed my food, and then pick up my fork again and take another bite, and just kind of make it a longer process, because I personally am always busy. I'm really type A. personality. So I can completely forget to eat for 6 hours if I'm like in a project. And, you know, I have a little bit of ADD, I think. And so I recognized that, and I just decided that, okay, this is something that I do. I eat really, really fast without even realizing it. Completely no awareness at all. So it took me quite a while before that became a normal thing, where I slowed my pace down a little bit. Because I think I was, you know, eating probably a couple hundred extra calories in a meal just because I was eating so fast. And then I'd be really full when I got done, you know, like, oh man, I feel like crap now. So realize that other people have their own beliefs around food and their crappy mindsets, and, you know, their own patterns that they've been through. And they're not going to be where you're at probably, with all of that, with your progress and the way that you're looking at your health and stuff. So we have to separate, you know, don't let what they're doing affect you, because it's really easy to see someone else doing something and be like, oh, they're doing it, it's not that bad, I'm just gonna, you know, I'll just participate a little bit in this too. And even when you don't really want to, just because it's a social thing, you know. Just like, you know, I don't know if you've seen, but there's like, this is completely off topic, but the people line up in a line, you know, there's been all of these studies done that if you get like 2 or 3 people to line up somewhere in a mall or whatever, people will automatically just want to know what they're lining up for, and they will just get behind them and start lining up. And this has been done over and over and over again, to where people finally are, you know, and they'll stand there and wait for like an hour. And I don't want to be that person. Like, seriously, I got shit to do. So it's the same with your food, right? Just try and, you know, and don't take it personally. Stand your ground. Be like, no, it's just, you know, I used to tell people I was in training. This was something I had to say a lot more than I probably should have needed to, because I found that it was easier to say I was training for an event, than to explain to them that I just wanted to eat clean because I just like my health. Because then it becomes like they start looking at you like you're crazy, you know? And so if I would say I'm training for a sprint try or a 5K, you know, 5K is 3 miles. Like, really, how hard is it to train for, you know, a 5K? But I would use that all the time. I'd be like, oh, I'm training for a race, you know, whatever. And it just kind of, you know, it kind of simmered down some of the talk with my family members and stuff. And food is, you know, the center activity of a lot of these holiday events. And so people think, you know, that you can't how could you possibly enjoy yourself if you're not, you know, eating from 8 a.m. until 10 p.m., you know, during the holidays or whatever. And so, but just stick to your guns and just try not to mindlessly, you know, put food in your mouth. Try not to stand by the buffet tables and just keep picking food off. Try and occupy your mind with other things. So just a few tips for your holiday eating. Beverages, a lot of empty calories in our beverages. So if you are drinking alcohol, you know, alcohol is a lot of calories. You can do that. Just try and drink a glass of water in between, or, you know, try and space it out as much as you can. It slows your metabolism down for about 3 days after you drink alcohol. So it takes your liver quite a while to process the alcohol once it's there. And so your metabolism slows way down, and your organs are having to work a little bit harder to get rid of. So you're not what you're doing is you're taking the focus off of the digestion of the foods that you're eating for those 3 days. You won't be doing it as efficiently as you would be if you hadn't have drank for those 3 days. And that's one of the reasons when we are, you know, dieting, why coaches don't want people drinking. It's not just the empty calories, but it's what our bodies do to process out the alcohol itself. So